Amazing Battle Part 3. What up, guys? This is Blade Master and you're watching the Wolf of Remus Total War channel. This is some Rome 2 online battle as usual, and this one was fought against Pt.3. I believe he's a viewer, maybe occasional viewer of the channel, I'm not really sure, but definitely a very good player and an active poster on the Total War forums. He has taken Pergamon in this matchup. He wanted a game with me, and I asked him, are we going full MLG or are we just playing for fun? And he said, let's just play some fun matches. So I've taken Boii against his Pergamon. He would have expected an infantry spam, and he would have thought I was an asshole by picking Boii against Pergamon, one of the cheapest, sorry, not one of the cheapest, one of the worst factions in the game, I would say. But with Boii, I've gone crazy. I've taken a huge cavalry force and a lot of Celtic bows and Celtic slingers and a very paltry melee infantry line, kind of inspired by the Prussian prince's battle against Llewellyn. That's just left this huge mark on my life, like it was some significant moment, because I've been playing with a ton of cavalry builds now. So anyways, I've brought a total of 5 Celtic bowmen and a total of 3 Celtic slingers, 2 of whom are on my right flank, one of whom are on my left flank, 3 Celtic warriors, 1 levy freeman, a total of 4 heavy horse, and a total of 4 noble horse. Now with Pergamon, Pt.3 has brought a total of 2 citizen cav, 2 Pergamene noble cavalry, very cost ineffective cavalry, but one that can be quite deadly if you can get it onto some melee infantry. But unfortunately I don't have a lot of melee infantry, but they can do well by destroying my archer line. He's charging in with one of his citizen cav. I'm going to intercept with one of my heavy horse. He's also brought a total of 2 light peltas, 1 picked peltas, brought a pike line of 6 pikes, which is obviously a very good answer to a Boii infantry spam. Unfortunately, it's not an infantry spam this time. He's also brought 4 Galatian swordsmen and a couple of militia hoplites to back up his cavalry flanks. Now, I charged into his citizen cav, got a very clean charge, and I got a lot of kills in the process, and I'm going to charge into his Pergamene noble cav just to tie them down. Meanwhile, my Celtic bowmen and my Celtic slingers are going to take some shots on them. He's going to charge into my heavy horse, and my heavy horse are obliterated by his Pergamene noble cav very soon. Let's take a look at their kills. 4 kills so far, not too much actually, but he's moving up. He's advancing very quickly with his Galatian swords line. I need to keep kiting back, and I need to be on top of my micro game, and I'm going to kite back with the rest of my line, my entire line. I have my 3 Celtic warriors and 1 levy freeman will actually be able to destroy his Galatian swords, I would say, with the help of my skirmishers, but I just cannot let him get to my skirmishers, especially my slingers. I need my slingers more than my Celtic bowmen, although my Celtic bowmen will be very influential too. But I'm going to get a rear charge onto Galatian swords, and that noble horse charge is straight money. Like, they're going to destroy these Galatian swords because they got the attack in the rear penalty as well. I'm going to pull in one of my Celtic warriors to attack his Galatian swords, but they have caught some of my Celtic bowmen. Meanwhile, his citizen cav have caught some of my Celtic slingers, but I'm going to bring one of my levy freemen to kill them off. I also charged into his Pergamene noble cav, got a very clean charge against a braced Pergamene noble cav, which meant that they didn't get their charge off. His Agima Spear's general is going to get a lot of kills against my heavy horse, while his citizen cav tied them down. But my cav superiority is going to show. I'm going to destroy his militia hoplites by attacking them in the rear with a noble horse. My noble horse general has lost a couple of men, but has got 12 kills on his Pergamene noble cav, which are more expensive, I think. I don't know, 1200 versus, I'm not sure what noble horse cost. I think 1300. Such a noob, I don't even know what that cost. But here my Celtic slingers are going to get some flank shots onto his Galatian swords. My noble horse got 116 kills by destroying that Galatian swords, and I think I'm going to charge into his depleted Pergamene noble cav. I'm going to charge into his Galatian swords and just pull back with the rest of my line. My Celtic warriors are going to get a lot of kills onto these Galatian swords for sure. But yeah, this Celtic warrior over here is going to die. Galatian swords probably are better than them. And my noble horse here is going to attack his picked peltas. They are going to do a brilliant job of just holding on. I'm going to come in and attack his light peltas, but he brought one of his pikemen to support. I'm going to pull out of there, but they obviously got a lot of kills in the process. I mean, my noble horse destroyed this flank. My general has got 25 kills on some very expensive cavalry. I rear charge with one of my heavy horse, but his militia hoplites are actually doing pretty well. My Celtic bowmen here are getting slaughtered by his Pergamene noble cav, so that's a huge penalty for me. I should have never let that happen. His pikemen have gotten attacked in the rear by my noble horse, who've just done a brilliant job so far. 129, 130 kills, single experience chevron so far, and he just does not have the maneuverability. Provided I kite well, he doesn't have the maneuverability to match me. He's got a couple of, he's got only one Galatian swords at this point, and the rest is just pikemen. He's got some light peltas, of course, and he's got he's got a couple of light peltas. His pick pelta is just about dead. He's only got one more militia hoplite here. I've charged into his pike line with my levy freeman, and I'm going to get another money, just straight cash charge with my noble horse. I love using that word. Anyways, this pikeman has got attacked in the rear. They have only 45 morale, so they're going to start dropping very quickly. And my Celtic bows have been attacked by his Pergamon noble cav, but that's going to give time for my Celtic slingers to just destroy the last of his Pergamon noble cav. Come on, just 16 men left. Jesus Christ. This is pissing me off even in the replay. My Celtic bows have died. I've only got 3 Celtic slingers at this point, and he has lost all of his pick peltas are done. They've got a single experience chevron, which means that, you know, even if they get charged at by noble horse, they'll still manage to rack up a lot of kills. They're just so good. But yeah, he's only got 1 Galatian swords here. His pick peltas are actually at decent strength. His pikemen are doing surprisingly well. My levy freeman died, and they're still attacked in the rear, but his Agima Spears gen is just going to destroy my heavy horse with their volleys. 30 kills on them so far. Brilliant job with his Agima Spears. But now all it's going to boil down to is me using the 3 slingers that I have. I believe I've got 3 slingers. Yep, there's a third one, to try and destroy his Agima Spears at this point. I'm running into the flanks, into his rear with my noble horse, and he's going to bring one of his pikes to support, so I'm going to have to pull out at the last second. And I'm going to have to run away with my Celtic slinger here, but because he's got his Pergamon noble cav here, who have actually done a pretty decent job, and they're going to attack these Celtic slingers. Again, poor micro on my part, but these Celtic slingers are going to destroy these Pergamon noble cav while they're engaged. So the poor armor of them, of these Pergamon noble cav, will actually show at this point. 49 Celtic slingers left, and they're only broken; they're not shattered. So that's a big deal, I think. His pikemen were still reforming, so I took a very risky charge with my noble horse. Of course, they have both the armor and the health to actually withstand that kind of a risky charge. And his light peltas, meanwhile, are just about done. His Pergamon noble cav are also just about done. I still have this levy freeman unit, who've actually done pretty well, 48 kills so far. And now he's left his sides open. His light peltas are going to get rear charged by another noble cav. Meanwhile, his pikemen over here, who are chasing after my Celtic slingers, have been rear charged by this noble horse, and they're obviously dead because he removed pike phalanx from them because they were getting shot at by Celtic bows and Celtic slingers. So he decided to remove the pike phalanx, and so they're going to die very quickly. 215 kills with one of my noble horse, pulling out just before his militia hoplites can attack them. Now he's almost out of peltas support. I'm going to charge into his pikemen before they have a chance to drop their pikes, and I'm just going to pull straight through. My noble horse are going to take some casualties in the process, but I think that's a good trade-off because I can at least destroy a lot of HP from his men. My Celtic bowmen here have returned. They only have 33 men left, but they're going to get some flank shots, which will be pretty crucial. His light peltas are wavering, and they've come back from routing there. At this point, I've circled him, and he is going to form a pike box, which is a completely viable tactic. I absolutely have no problem with that if it's a late game tactic. And since he has nothing else, he has to do this. I mean, that's perfectly fine with me. His Agima Spears have got a single experience chevron so far. Militia hoplites at basically full strength. His pikemen, you know, they are, some of them are depleted, some of them are at full strength. But the answer to my victory will only be what the fuck was that kind of sentence? Anyways, the only way I can achieve victory in this game is if I can snipe his general. He's got what, 103 units left, and I'm just gonna have to pull away with my Celtic slingers and then start shooting them. That's what I'm doing. We're just aiming at his Agima Spears, and every time they move back gives me a chance to destroy or get some good kills from the rear. Yeah, he's going to form his pike phalanx at this point. I've got one Celtic slinger with 44 kills, one Celtic slinger with 60 men, and one Celtic slinger with about 36 men. This one's basically full strength. Just coming in to kill off his light peltas, and I'm going to charge into the other light peltas as well. In any case, I've got this heavy horse which is running so slowly, but it's going to be enough to catch his light peltas and kill off the last remaining skirmishers that he has. The balance bar is not looking in my favor at this point, but as long as I can keep smashing his general, and that's why the fact that I have Celtic slingers is such a huge bonus. because the extra ammo that they have is really going to play a big part. I'm attacking his militia hoplites here, which is a very poor move. Instead, I should be focusing on his Agema spears. I'm attacking them with one of my Celtic bowmen here and with one of my Celtic slingers. And a big bonus for me is that I have Celtic slingers on basically all directions. So while he's facing this direction and putting his shields to protect himself from arrows, rocks are going to be flying in from behind and from the sides. So even with the pretty decent armor that Agema spears have of 80, it's not going to be enough, I'd say. I mean, from concentrated fire from all directions, even with the terrible missile damage that Celtic slingers have, it eventually will will give me some rewards. Heavy horse here with 52 men, heavy horse with 16 men here. My general has got 40 men. I have a noble horse at 26 men, and I have a noble horse with 40 men left. But that's all not going to matter because they are not going to be able to win me the game. I just need to destroy his Agema spears general. They've already dropped to 85 men, which is very good. I just need to snipe his general so that his undisciplined pikemen, I believe they're undisciplined. No, they have discipline. Okay, they have discipline, but at the end of the day, they only have 45 base morale. So once the general recently died, not the general recently died, but the fact that general died will obviously cause a morale penalty. So I'm counting on that and the fact that they have poor base morale to win me the game by them just chain routing. It might just boil down to me having to take some risks with my noble horse though. 6 minutes and 24 seconds left. I'm going to put it on to just double speed at this point. He's forcing his Agema spears to try and absorb fire from each direction, but it's just not going to happen. They're down to 70 men. This is a poor move on his part. He shouldn't put square formation because that means they won't be able to block missiles. But maybe against Celtic slingers who have that low arc, that could actually be a pretty decent idea. I'm not really sure because my Celtic bowmen are out of ammo at this point, I'd say. Yeah, Celtic bowmen, if anything, they only have a couple of volleys left. But you can see that I don't think that was a good idea because you can see they've already lost a ton of men. 61 units left on his Agema spears general. He's moving up with his militia hoplites way too much in front. So I have to really take advantage of this and start using my general to just charge into them. My Celtic slingers were on an attack order to kill off his general. They got almost attacked by his... Actually, a couple of them got attacked by his militia hoplites. But I'm going to wake up and I'm going to charge in with my noble horse general here. And the fact that I have a Warcry general is really key. Because even though they were deployed into pike phalanx, now they have only 64 units left. And I'm going to pop Warcry on top of them wavering. That means that they are going to rout. Huge move. Don't underestimate the power of that move because each unit that routes over here means that the balance of power will shift into my favor, and that would mean that that's going to give me a huge advantage in winning this game. He's only got 53 units left, and I see that he's put his Agema spears gen into a very, very thin line, only one singular line. And meanwhile, my Celtic slinger is just slowly but steadily racking up the kills. This Celtic slinger with 46 kills, my Celtic slinger over here with 66. And I'm going to move around with this Celtic slinger, and I think I'm going to charge in. I'm not really sure. Spoiler alert. Let's put it on double speed. His light peltas are charging in. I don't think they have any ammo left, but he's going to put his general onto square formation a bit too late, and I'm going to come in with a very good charge with my heavy horse. And 32, 31, 30. Yeah, they don't have the greatest greatest base morale as well. That's another thing that you need to remember. They only have 25 units left, and that heavy horse charge actually paid off. 85 kills, not bad. I'm going to shower his pikemen as well, just deplete some of their HP because I didn't want to attack my heavy horse and then lose them in the process because they only had 15 units. So if they got some friendly fire casualties, then they probably would have died. Only 25 units. Come on, Agema spears gen. Die. Only 24 units left, but come on, they're taking so much time. But the fact that he's deployed them in a thin line means that he'll be able to absorb that fire better. I'm going to charge into his pike line over here. They only had 31 units left, and again I'm going to pull out with my heavy horse. Only 43 units with them, so actually they're doing pretty well. And the fact that again, I think no, I didn't use Warcry there. The fact that they only had 20 men left was good enough. But now I'm going to pull in with my noble horse another use of his Warcry, and I think that's again going to be too much for my for Pine 89's general. There we go, they're shattered. and that's I think a very decisive move in this game. Now he has only 4 pikemen left. They aren't wavering. Their general is dead, so they do have that penalty. So just in case, many people have that misconception that disciplined units do not have the general dead penalty, or they don't get a morale penalty from their general dying. They of course do. But I'm going to charge into this small gap with my heavy horse. A lot of them died, but a lot of them have gotten into the rear of these pikes. That's going to be good enough. Just a morale penalty is all that I'm aiming for here. Very smart move over here. He's actually put his pikemen in front, so they are not going to get shot at in the rear, but they are still very susceptible to any sort of slinger fire. 84 kills, single experience chevron with my Celtic slingers. Who would have ever thought Celtic slingers would be worthwhile? They've actually saved the day for me so far. Let's see, it doesn't look like I'd be able to win. Look at the balance bar, it's still the same. But while he's reforming, I am going to charge in with both of my noble horse, and that is going to be too much for these pikemen, I'd say. 108, 106, they've deployed their pikes, so that's going to cause a lot of casualties for my heavy horse as they pull back. But he is forced to reform into a pike triangle at this point. Ooh, this was a bad move from Pt.3. If he had just left his pikes on, I don't know why he turned around with his pikes. Oh, if he had left his spikes on, that would have been it. I would have lost this game because my general would have gotten slaughtered. Again, I thought that he was facing his spikes this way, but he had to turn around. I don't know why he turned around. But on top of the waver that caused, I'm going to use my war cry a third time, and that is going to be it for those spikes. And now he's just too busy trying to reform his lines, rear charging these pikemen, and now while they're attacking my heavy horse, I'm going to come in on the other side with the other heavy horse. And again, too much for that pikeman. Very easy to corner them while they're trying to reform, and that's going to be it. He's only got 2 pikemen left, one of them with 81 men, one of them with 103 men, and my Celtic slingers are out of ammo, and I'm going to rear charge the last pikeman unit. 95 left on these units. This one also attacked in the rear. Surely I can't use my war cry again. I definitely don't have the war cry ability. It hasn't recharged so soon. But that one is done. Army losses. This pikeman is wavering, and it's GG time. Very well played to Pt.3. And this really risky build has actually paid off. I didn't do well with my micro. He only brought 4 cav to my 8 cav, and I should have done a better job at killing off his Pergamon noble cav. One of them got 142 kills, which is too bad. They just destroyed my Celtic bowman, and I could have won this game a lot easier if I just killed off that threat very easily, or very early on in the game. My his Pick Peltas did okay, considering that they got charged really early game. Light Peltas actually did pretty well too. Agema Spears did okay. They withstood just volley after volley after volley from those Celtic slingers, but eventually they died. One of my Celtic slingers got 101 kills, 58 with the other, 52 with the last. They all did really well. My noble horse were the surprise MVPs in this game. Surprise because I don't really rate them, but against a poor faction like Pergamon, I'd say they do pretty much okay. 249 kills with 140, 184, and 120 kills with them. Heavy horse also did pretty well. His Galatian swords, some of them did brilliantly because they got into my Celtic bows. Again, it's just terrible micro on my part. My Celtic warriors just didn't really do too much against his Galatian swords. I think they're a much better unit than Celtic warriors, I would say. I'm going to have to test these guys' effectiveness. I never really rated them, but I think they probably if they beat Celtic warriors so well in a head-on engagement, maybe they are very good. Anyways guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. Peace.